Hi guys, Reform UK head Richard Tice, who used to be a member of Nigel Farage's Brexit party, is getting ready to blame the civil service for any failure to obtain a good trade deal with India. Tice suggests that Britain's counterpart at the negotiating table will demand more visas, meaning more migration to the United Kingdom, something Brexiteers like him are against, to put it mildly. He also claimed that Britain got a bad deal over Brexit because the UK was out-negotiated by the European Union. Have a listen to this.
What you want to agree is on the easier stuff, where you know you've agreed. And that obviously varies from country to country. So get something done, build some confidence, and then move on to round 2 and round 3, and see if you can work it that way. So it'll be the Indian negotiators will be arguing for many, many more visas than I suspect.
Why do they want so many? Why do they want so many?
Well, that's because there's a big Indian community here in the UK, and they will be pushing for it. Very successful business community. So you can understand why they're pushing for it. But equally, the role of the government is to look after British citizens and to make sure that any trade deal works for the United Kingdom. And what my concern about is, frankly, given what we're seeing about the quality of the civil service all over the place, the quality of our negotiators being out-negotiated, as we all fear, frankly, we have been with the European Union.
Then why the hell did you support it? Why did you support the Withdrawal Agreement? Okay, so what am I talking about? Back in 2019, the Brexit Party stood down candidates in the general election to help the Tories, to help Boris Johnson. Nigel Farage supported the oven-ready deal, which of course is the Withdrawal Agreement. So they didn't have a problem with the Withdrawal Agreement. Now they're complaining that, well, we got a raw deal with the European Union. We were out-negotiated. We sent idiots to negotiate on our behalf. But now he's complaining, but he didn't complain at the time. Like, I was truly shocked when I saw that photo of David Davis sitting opposite, this was it 2017, 2018, David Davis sitting opposite Michel Barnier, without a pen and a piece of paper. He folded in something like half an hour and then was sent home. Then you sent David Frost, and he'd negotiated such a wonderful deal he was made a peer, Lord Frost. And now you have Richard Tice, the head of Reform UK, the remnants of the Brexit party, saying, well, we got a bad deal because we had crap negotiators. But you supported it in 2019. Like, why didn't you say, okay, let's have a look at this withdrawal agreement first, let's have a look at this oven-ready deal before we support it, before we stand down candidates in order to help Boris Johnson? I remember Nigel Farage at the time saying, we're going to hold the Tories to account. We're going to make sure that Brexit is delivered. Brexit gets done. And then you stood down candidates. and at the time you had no problem with the negotiators, you had no problem with the withdrawal agreement or the oven-ready deal, and now you're saying, well, we got a bad deal with the EU because we had pretty crappy negotiators in the civil service. It's always about blaming the civil service, blaming officials, never blaming the politicians. Like when it comes to immigration, who did they blame? They blame people working in the Home Office. They never blame Suella Braverman. Why is that? I don't know why Richard Tice is invited on to talk about these things. Yeah, well, you take my advice when it comes to trade negotiations or international negotiations, because I backed a deal that I didn't actually read. Okay, I backed an agreement that I'm now complaining about. The reason David Davis was sent in the first place was not because he actually knew how to conduct negotiations. It was because he was a Brexiteer. He believed in Brexit. Theresa May was under a lot of pressure to put people in charge who actually believed in Brexit. The ERG were constantly putting pressure on her. And that's the result. You send idiots, you send clowns, and you end up having a terrible deal. Instead of actually choosing people based on merit and sending them and negotiating for the time necessary, putting in the time and putting in the effort required to conduct a good trade negotiation. No, they sent idiots and said, you need to do this as quickly as possible. Liz Truss the same. The Australian deal is terrible because it was done as quickly as possible. It was just about having something to present to the public, not actually having a good trade deal. That's why the European Union trade deals take a long time, because they're complicated and the EU wants to get something good at the end. Brexiteers just want a piece of paper they can wave in front of MPs in Parliament or the public on TV. So when it comes to the Indian trade deal, who is going to be doing the negotiations? Who will ultimately be responsible? Well, it remains to be seen. But if it's Brexiteers in charge, if the goal is just to have something, then it's going to be a raw deal for Britain. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.